Thank you, Chairman. The subject at hand is of importance. It concerns one of the key essential components for reaching the Paris objectives. And one of the key components of CO2 emissions is public transport and is vehicles being owned and used by public authorities. So it's an important topic we are covering, and the European Commission has a range of proposals which are covered by this rapport in order to reach targets of reducing substantially CO2 emission in public transport. So that's the matter at hand, and the philosophy of the rapport is to engage public authorities as to lead by example. And while leading by example and creating critical mass for low-emission mobility, it also creates a market for it. And I was very pleased to hear, and there are representatives present here of that region, that the region of Paris is planning to buy 1,000 electric buses next year. My province only has 300 buses. So that's a substantial amount, and cities leading by example also create a critical mass for others to follow. And that is also a key philosophy in the rapport at hand, by which we say that those regions that have, let's say, more urgent air quality needs should be the first one to engage, thus creating critical mass, thus creating lower prices for transportation modes with low emission. The rapport focuses very much on public transport, but of course there are also other ways of reducing CO2, such as cycling and such as walking, but we don't cover technically issues in this report. I want to thank the many amendments proposed by the members of this prestigious Council. And in dealing with those amendments, the main concern we had is how to balance subsidiarity, meaning the freedom of regional and local authorities to set their own policies and also to do their own procurement, while on the other hand assuring a single market. And that is quite an urgent thing. Of course, we should respect the subsidiarity of policymaking at local levels. But on the other hand, if you are the owner of an electric car and you want to go to Romania and you have to cross several countries of the European Union, you need a week planning to drive by electric car, because you have to assure that you're charging, you have the right charging plugs with you, and you have to assure you have the right payment cards with you. That is quite unlike if you have petrol. In petrol, we have only two standards, diesel and benzene octane 95, and you can drive easily across the European Union. If you want to leave now to Romania, you can arrive next day. So there is a level playing field, there is a single market for traditional fuels, and we have to move forward also by creating a single market for the clean fuels. And that requires to have the single market to go first and subsidiarity to go second. So that is a debate at hand in several amendments we will cover, and I would strongly advise you to follow my advice and to choose for the single market and to choose for lower costs for consumers and ease of transport for citizens. I was very pleased doing this report. I thank everyone who has supported me, the experts, the European Commission. We had a very fruitful stakeholders meeting, and I also thank the input of the members during the debate in Coter and the amendments at hand.